Welcome to Blickling for Farming Sim 17. This is the newest version of Blickling, and this is where you land. And we're just going to have a look around. And when you log in, this is your start point. Your house, which looks very nice, very modern. Chickens are just outside the door, so very handy if you want eggs for breakfast in the morning. And they lie all around this area, so if you do have a bit of an egg hunt, there's little ways you can go through to get to the main bit, but we'll walk around here and we'll just have a quick look around the farm. Then we'll pick up a certain tractor, not your normal tractor you'd use for something like this or particularly use for this. I'm not going to use the right hand drive lizard there. Right, cows are here. This is your dairy. Automatic gates on the to the dairy with no collisions on, so this is where you drop off your cows. I'm not going to get any. I've been testing this for the last 3 weeks and it seems fine. The author is OldBor, and a little bit about Blickling itself. It's based around Blickling village, a real place in Norfolk, which is just outside the town of Aylsham. So if you get a map, find Aylsham, you'll find Blickling. There's a hole there which is the most famous point about Blickling, and here we are in. We'll go through this way. As you can see, it's very standard here, but we managed to get out, we managed to jump. Before we go any further, let's have a quick look at the vehicles you start with before I buy anything. A Hurleyman, a T5, Massey Ferguson 600, a JCB. Now that gets my foot anyway, as soon as you've got a JCB in there, the 3000 series. Kramer as your front loader, set of Stoll pallet forks, a New Holland TS5 90 combine, and a Massey Fer Activate 7347 with heads for both, just corn heads, just grain heads. A Farm Tech tipper, an AgriLiner tipper, Cleveland cultivator, Amazon cultivator, 2 plows, small 4 furrow and the 6 furrow Amazon seed, a 3 metre and a 6 metre Pheasantstead, the famous Rapide 600, Bredall fertiliser spreader, 1 weight, legal bale trailer, Joskin water container, Joskin animal transporter. There's 2 pressure washers on the farm. There's a heating plant, and there's 4 beehives, and there's a whole load of greenhouses. There's 4 greenhouses and the lizard pickup. Right, whilst we're here, we just buy the vehicle we're going to have a look around in. Now, as you all know, I'm useless at driving out a cab, so rather than have someone going to be trying to drive out a cab, getting it all wrong, we have something I can drive in cab and still be able to see around well, and at the same time we can show where everything lands. Now we just go down there and just get that delivered. Everything resets here. Right, you have plenty of storage for your bits and pieces. It's split into 3. The main farm, which is here, which is the arable and dairy part. One of your combines. Plus the Massey here with the AgriLiner. Over here you have the workshop. There's more storage in there, so you're a bit pushed to get much in there. Your seed. There's a water hose there, there's a water tanker. Fertilisers in here, it's a nice little drive through. I found before I could actually put my fertilisers stuff in beside it. Fitted nicely on the 15. Alright, we look around there, let's have a quick look at the rest of this bit. Your diesel is in here. You can just about climb the ladder, and then of course I went mad when I got to the top. More storage here, one of your pressure washers, more storage over here with the Rapide, the Rapide and the fertilizer spreader. You've got room to put some placeables in. I have been playing around because I'm going to be using this map, and I found I could get the large mix feeder in here, the GTX, I think it's GTX who made it, mix feeder. Water here and grass and that in this one, and your main feed of course is by the shed. Let's come through here, and you've got another bit of storage in here. And by the way, all fences and hedges, or just about all fences and hedges, are climbable. Another storage shed, rather run down. Twin bunkers. No BGA on the map. You don't see them in Norfolk. And there's certainly none around Blickling. I live about 50 miles south of Blickling, very roughly. So I do know a little bit about the area. So you won't be doing that much silage, just for what you need for the cattle. And your storage is here. This is your grain storage. There's a very small feed storage, which we'll go and see in a moment. You've got small area over here, just ordinary trees. It's a beautiful map. It really is. Let's just bring the main map up. We'll have a proper look at it. You start off with fields 1 and 2, 18, 19. Now your grains, you've got all the normal fruits plus oats and rye. So you've got a better selection you get. Normally grass fields are these, and they are actually fields. See, they're all numbered, and you own 22 and 24 as your own grass fields. The rest of them you will have to buy as and when you want them. And I don't think any of your fields are actually planted, so you start afresh, which is brilliant. So I'm going to be playing this with Seasons mod, and I will be doing a full series. Full set of sell points. We'll just go through those now, and we'll look at them a bit more detail in a few minutes. All of them are actually places, or actual firms. There's Ocean Mill. As you can see, it takes just about all the grain. Yeah, all the grain goes to Ocean Mill. Bird's Eye Factory takes potatoes, and that's it. Brewery takes wheat and barley, and nothing else. And also takes, what's that one? That's rye. Also takes some rye. That's your feed storage where you put chips, silage, straw, grass and hay. Gamekeepers take maize. Where are we? Feed storage. Garden centre takes wood chips. Gunton Hall takes some of your waste products, your straw, your grass and your hay. And Gunton Hall Windrow takes the same, but that's sort of next door. Oh, Gunton Hall itself also take oats, because they keep horses there. So they need stuff to feed the horses on. They also take some barley. Hall Garden is wool. Oh, Spinnery, sorry, is wool. Hall Garden is going somewhere you get rid of your straw in your hay and your grass. And by the way, there's no actual bale destroyer on the farm. You have to move out to sell it. And the Hall Gardens also takes muck and sewage, and slurry. Spinnery was done. Sugar Beet Factory takes sugar beet, would you believe? Sunshine Bakery, they take a fair selection. wheat, barley, sunflower, maize, oats and rye. They take the lot. Thompson sawmill, wood chips, and you can also, and that's also where you put your logs in and turn them into plank. I think the planks they make here, which are sold, not shown on this list, which is shown at yeah, I keep forgetting what they're called, at Travers Perkins. Shouldn't really forget that. I worked for part of that company at one time, but we won't go into that. Yeah, fairly refineries take rape or canola, sunflower and soy, and that's all the sell points. So let's, without further ado, find what I've done with the tractor, and we'll go for a little drive round. And I just got the farm all from SOB modding, and I've got it on auto start, which is a mistake, but I'm just going to change that because I don't like auto start. I prefer to start it myself. Right, needn't worry about anything else there. Just turn that down a little bit in my ears, that's quite loud. I've got my head tracking on, so apologies if you don't like using head tracking, but so it's easier to look around and see what's what. We won't worry too much about the fields. The fields are very big, but you have to be aware that they're not exactly courseplay friendly. It pays to do the headlands first and start it after you've done the headlands. There's traffic on the map, and we will probably find out about that. We'll start off in the village of Blickling. So we're okay, we'll get a move on. Nice slow little drive around. What could be nicer? An old vintage tractor. And we'll head down towards the very first point. And you see little roads go off left, right and centre. They all go to somewhere. And we'll try and catch everything we should, but we're going to start in the village, work round, go to Alsham Mill. And that's one of your water points there, and there's lovely signs all the way around. We'll have a look at this one. It shows you exactly what's down there. The refinery, the sugar factory and the sawmill are all down on that road. But we're going to go down to the village first, then we'll come back to those. Oh, we might as well cut off here and have a look at the animal buy point. I don't think I'm going to try and cut in front of these. And this is the animal auction yard. This is where, if you're doing animals, and I would suggest you do on this map, here we'll go and collect your animals. All the little indicators of where you're meant to park, and this is where you park to buy and sell your animals. It's Alsham Livestock Market. You find just about every building has got its custom signs. There's also a lot of bird song on the map. If you're a keen ornithologist, it's not a bad map to practice your indication. Just put the frame rate up. Now remember, I am recording, so I've got extra stuff going on. I'm set to very high, using a AMD 8-core processor. One of the great houses. which you can't, well you can get into if you jump the fences, but the church, again you need to jump the fences to get into it. And in here is the wool sell point. Drop your wool in here and Bob's your uncle. It's quite a journey to get your wool to the wool sell point. And it's lovely extra bits in here all over the place. Shop, well this is a fish and chip shop if you feel hungry. Your vehicle store, and I think I better let him go first. Not quite your standard vehicle store. Custom building again. And you've got fertilisers and seed all in here as well. And you've got your farm machinery, used stock. Those little signs all over the place. OldBor does a brilliant job on this map. But the only map he makes for each version is a Blickling map. But he spends a lot of time on it, getting it as he wants it. As most good map makers, it's their vision. As I say, this is based on a real place. It may not be exactly the scale as we go, we can. Full buy point in here. Over the road here we have Travis Perkins. They buy the boards that you made up at Thompson's mill, sawmill. Drop your boards in here and they sell. And it's a nice little thing if you're into forestry. I'm not personally, but it's there if you want it. But that's just me, I don't like forestry. I have done my forestry, done an R on this map, and that's my forestry shop. From Farming Sim 17, I'm afraid. Pub over the road, so if you fancy a pint, just come down to the village. It looks like it's the Nelson. Now the roads stop at the end of each one, and we'll just go to the end of this one. So Excel, no, that's the bank there. That's where you can get your loans from. I can't remember where the Excel point is. Up there is to the mill, and we'll go down there in a moment. Fish and tackle, if you want to do a lot of fishing, you will find a lot of kettle fishing. People want a lot of these grasslands here are not there for grassland. Oh, your garden centres in here. It's normal garden centres, so it won't bother too much going around here. And we now come to the end of the road. This is it. There's a tunnel out or bridge out, and that's the end of it. And you've got your football pitch. Let's upset the local village team by driving all over their football pitch. Makes a pleasant change from seeing baseball and basketball everywhere. This is a proper English village football pitch. No ball that you can play with, but then again you can't kick anything in this game, you can only throw it. Now remember, you have to drive on the correct side of the road, the left side. That should get my continental and American friends up in arms. Alright, we'll go down and have a look at the mill next. The roads are reasonably flat but quite bumpy, especially towards the edges. Especially these sort of roads, these are little country roads. A lot of heavy traffic going down there. They're breaking up, and it's somewhat true to Britain at the moment, where our roads, especially our side roads, are getting terrible. Right, in here we've got two things here. You get your main grain sell point. A lot of your grain will go in here, and we'll stop once we've got to the other side of this. This is where you sell, just in here. As you see, it's Elgin Mill, rather run down looking. Grass growing inside, old pallets about. Oh, just turn that off for the moment, and we'll go and have a walk around. Can't get in any of the buildings, so don't try. Here is one of the main fishing places, this lovely old mill, which you all will probably recognise if you played Blickling 15. If you didn't, why didn't you? Excellent map. I enjoyed that immensely. I originally got Blickling in just... Oh, before we go on any further, this is your water fill point, one of your water fill points. There's two of them on the map, both tiles like that. And if you look carefully around here... Oh yeah, I was saying about Blickling. There's other people fishing. My eyesight isn't quite good enough to pick them out, but there's a couple of three others around here. You've got people fishing all over the place. A big sport around this part of Norfolk. Right, let's get on to working. Yes, I was saying that Blickling 15, I bought it into my Getting Dressed series just as a modern map to show off a little bit on how modern maps work and what was on there, and I ended up playing that for a lot of episodes because I enjoyed it so much. And it stopped being the Getting Dressed series and it really became the Blickling series. But as you can see, it's lovely to look at. And as I know, I'm over the wrong side of the road. Horses, but the trouble, they are all just still models. There's nothing that moves, I'm afraid, and that is basically because of the way the engine works. If we went the other way, we'd come to the end of the road again. We don't really want to do that. Down here is Gunton Hall, and this is two sell points down here. Traffic is not overly heavy, which is good. I dislike really heavy traffic. As you see, it's well modelled, lots of detail. And this is one sell point up ahead here. This is, I forget the set, I think it's barley and oats mainly in here. And I forgot because this tractor does, the front wheels does not like grids. Must remember to keep off for the rest of the journey. And in here is your bale and, or your hay, straw, grass sell point. All goes in, dropped in here. But I gush a bit about this matter because I like it. I was very happy when OldBor asked if I'd care to test it for him, and I just hope we squished most of the bugs. It will be available. Oh, yeah, so you can also drop off your muck here. And the easiest way to get onto this pit to come this way, and because I don't want to actually get the front wheel onto those grids. That's the two sell points here. Yes, I was very pleased when OldBor contacted me and asked if I wanted to test it. It will be available on our source at PCSG when it's released, and I'm doing this as a release video, so you should be seeing this about the same time as the map goes live, and also on FSUK. The map will be. both of which are very good places to download from. Both use their own high-speed servers, and we both try and make it as easy as possible for you to get your map. There's no actual closing gates on the fields. Excuse me. And I was saying, all the grass on some of these fields is not cuttable. They're all fencing all the way around. And you normally, excuse me one moment, I'll just pull into the side and have a quick sip of something. I've got a tickle. You normally tell the ones which are not cuttable, they will have a for sale sign in. They are building land. I think looking at my sound, I'm going to have to cut a bit of the audio where I coughed. Right, and now making my way towards, I think, one of the tabloids on here. I love this one, and you should see this one at night. This is brilliant. It's used the same on 15, but it's improved it for 17. It's just probably in. Hop out and have a quick look. We're Rubberneck. Oh, look at this lot. Look. Looks like a really nasty accident. 3 cars smashed, one of which has gone into the building. I don't know if they set the building on fire through that, or it's already a fire and they were looking at the fire. The fence is all down. Well, we'll be getting out of the way before they attack me. The police and fire cars are in attendance, and now we come to the Sunshine Bakery, and he's, oh, look at him undertaking. Oh, it's illegal, mate. Here's for your wheat and barley, and I think rye goes. Now, I'm not going to go on to the grid this time. I'm not going to make the same mistake again. There's still lots to see. That road cuts you through to the across, and it's a quick way, or a shortcut to get to the bakery from the farm. Now we're coming to another part of the village. Plenty of houses there that you see. There's an Arnold Keys auctioneer's sign there. That land, I don't think you can get into it very well, and certainly not cuttable grass. These are slightly older buildings. Must probably put up just post-war, when we've done a lot of building. Now we're at the Bird's Eye factory. We whipped through it because there's not a lot along the top, if I remember rightly. So we're whipped through the Bird's Eye factory. This is where your spuds go. And luckily non-collidable gates. So selling is going to be easy with Courseplay, because these barriers always raise a good time to the drive around here. Much of work to that one, I think. But you have a full drive around. The tip point is over here. Just in. Yeah. Okay. And it looks the part. You can see with all this detail, it's still doing low 50 to 60. There we are, the Bird's Eye real potatoes. We'll go across and have a look at the sheep next, and the forestry area. Not too much down on the main road. Most of it is out in the area to make you have to travel a bit. And you might say, why are all the animals away from the main farm? Believe you me, you would not want to be living on top of a pigsty. They can smell really foul. That road is blocked, and we go down. And this is the gamekeeper site down here. This is where you sell your maize. And your maize is actually sold through a rather run-down place. The sell point. Oh, almost forgot. Got away with it at the last moment. But as I've done this map, a quick map tour on Drummond using a vintage tractor, I thought I'd do the same on this. I enjoy driving. Right, we take the back track. It's not a road, it's a track. Do not go off track here, as you won't get past those edges. I think if they're dark, I think they are non-collidable. There is one or two dark edges which I think you can just drive through. And this is just a nice wood, not really forestry trees, but you could cut them, but I wouldn't. We'll come up to the forestry bit, back there, with the sheep. Right, typical sheep place. Your feed pen is inside the yard. Your bale trailer's here. You've also got the front loader over here. Your bales spawn here. Your water goes in here. You can get from either side. And I found using the water tires quite handy here. You just plant that near that, and you can get to it quite easily. Now, which way should we go here? I think we might try and get back to the main road, but I don't think we can from here. I think this is all closed off. You can't see a way through up there. There's a nice little wood. And we drive along the fence until we find a gap, and I won't get out onto the main road again. Although we have got the pigs over the way, and we can get cross country. I never tried to go across country for the pigs, but it should be possible looking at the roads. Although they're not really roads here, they're just little tracks. Here we are. That way should take us out. We'll go down to the pigs first, which should be, I think, down here. And because this is a forestry area, you can see the right trees. So if you want to do a bit of forestry, but if you do want to do forestry, make sure you plant some more in here, because they ain't going to last forever. With Mr. Pigs, we'll come back to those. And this is actually Blickling Park, which is a National Trust area. So you wouldn't actually be cutting any trees down out of there. Sorry, just look at me watch. I want to see how long we've been running. We've been running quite a while. But I'm going to get this done. And one of your meadows is down on this area, and if I remember right, it's off to the side. Haven't got too many more places to go, but we've got enough. There we are. This is one of the meadows, and there's a fishing place down here. Again, we just step out and have a look. If we come down here, and you can see the old boys fishing there all the way around. I'd say there's hundreds of them, but there's quite a few of them. Alright, let's find the next point we might go to. I might as well come down here and have a look. There's no traffic on this part, I don't think, because I've never seen any yet. But still saying I'm probably find some now. And you see a typical Norfolk road. The edges have merged in with the outside. Very typical. And we're coming up now to the feed store. We're now at Blickling Park. This is your feed store. I'm not going to drive through it for obvious reasons. This doesn't like it. It doesn't hold much. I think it's going to be 50,000 of each. That's why I got it set slightly higher whilst I was testing. And that is basically the stuff you can't drop off at the farm. And you pick it up from here. Take a little bit of a hit on frames per second here, but I don't think it gets any worse the further you go. Now, what did that sign say? Let's have a look. I haven't read all the signs here, so or is it not so? Yes, it is. There we are. Yeah, it's meant to hold potatoes and sugar beet, wood chips, forage and silage, straw, grass and hay, all products will display now. No, this is completely independent of your main silos. This is by GTX Mods again. Very good modders there. I have their big fermented silo on one of my farms, and it's excellent. Out here, as I said, we just go down to the main road. I just need take a look at the map before we go any further, before we go out on the road, just check the best way to go. Well, I think we would go upwards and we'd try and get the pigs on the way up and then come back out on the same road and take the rest of the sell points. Oh. Just when you're in a hurry you get a whole load of traffic. You get passing places, all the proper little signs. You see the road is looking very second-hand. We don't have motorways. Oh, there's the other water point, by the way, in there. Oh, of course, I'll bring that other map up. I lost the map there. I've got to remember the way to the pig. There's a way through this from this way. I normally go right to the top end. Whoa, close to. No, can we get through? I don't think we can. I think I have to go all the way around the top. We'll go the way I know. Be simpler. Church. Norman. Oh. See, they just overtake your left, right, says Blickling Hall there. people going to see Blickling Hall, which is in behind this lot. You can get an idea of it here, but we're not going to Blickling Hall. We're going to turn in here. This is sell points and your greenhouses for muck, slurry, and I forget what else I found. Certainly muck and slurry and some of the byproducts. No silage. It used to be a sell point for silage. And there's your heating plant. That's to heat all their greenhouses. More seed, more fertilizer. Lovely. We go up to the brewery, then we come back down and go down that little side road we passed near the telephone box. Well, I say brewery, it's more a pub brewery. As you can see, they've been to the pub at 10 o'clock in the morning, drunkards. Mind you, there's some village people there, look. There we are. That's Nelson's again. It's, I think it's a Woodson's brewery. I see. Oh, Buckinghamshire Arms. Let's have a closer look at it. Never really read this one. Yeah, Buckinghamshire Arms. Yeah, Woodford's Nelson. There's an ale made by Woodford's, which is a small craft brewery, I think you call them in the States. We just call them microbreweries. But they're a bit more than a micro now. They're quite a big concern. Sell point there for the stuff for the brewery, which, guess what, I'm not going to go through. And we'll just whip back and have a look at the last food places. And I think we might have gotten them. If we haven't, we will teleport to the rest. No. They just stagger about in the middle of Saxford, one way Ocean, the other. All the signs are correct. As you see, we've won the quarter miles, 1.5 miles from Ocean. Ocean was a lovely little town, very similar to where I live, just a different part of the county. Little market town, has an auctioneers, as does this where I live. As I say, we're very similar. We'll go down here and we should have the refinery, sugar, beet factory and the sawmill, and that should be about the lot. That I have enjoyed by Todd Tesla. I shall be doing a series on it starting very soon. I might well there'll be 2 new series starting, this one and Drumheart. This might go out on a Saturday until I manage to get the Heritage Farm moved over on the 17th. Right, first of all, sugar beet. Oh, is it? No, sorry, this is Yar. This is the Yar Valley. Yar is the river, and Yarmouth, or Great Yarmouth, should be called. Of course, gets its name from the River Yar. It's the mouth of the River Yar. And there we go. Sell point for rape, sunflower and soy. All oil content plants. Quite bumpy down here, so you don't want to be rushing down this bit. Certainly not in a vintage tractor. This is really only scratching the surface of the map. It's as I say, a lovely map. Then you can add, you can keep up the frames per second, you can add about 10 to that, because I'm running both recording software and well, both two different bits of software for sound and vision. You keep it separate and mix them together afterwards. And now we're coming up to the sawmill. This is a Maru sawmill, so you know it's going to be good. Been updated for the latest patches. Thompson Sawmills Limited. Quite simple. Drop your logs off here. Put your, see which one is, oh, this one's in. You put your wood chips in here, and that is the fuel for to run the mill. And that's where the wood chips come out of. So once you've got it running, you're not having to worry about wood chips too often. And your finished pallets come out here, one at a time. You have to come every time it fills up to make sure you empty it. I'm moving too far back. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to reset this on a bit further forward. Hopefully. Yeah, that's better. You can't see the empty seat anymore. I should have done it earlier. You know, I am. I said before, I'm not probably the laziest to do some stuff on YouTube. Right, we've got the sugar beet factory still to go to, and that should be almost it. There's less than there was on the 15 one, but that's because there's not your rearing huts you used to have on the 15. But there's plenty to do. You run this solo without too much added help, and you're going to be kept busy. Right, there we go, in here. This is the sugar beet factory. British Sugar. Sign up there to pro, rather run down looking building. And of course sugar beet and sugar beet production, or sugar from sugar beet production, started in Norfolk. Cantley is the oldest factory in Britain, which incidentally is in Norfolk. Just to show off a little bit, we've got something in Norfolk. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to, no, I didn't put time fast forward on it, did I say? I can't. I was going to fast forward time, you see it at night. And you see there's work going on all over the place, building a new, big, it looks like a factory. Another housing estate, but you see on the drive round, I haven't really held it up too much. And it's taken us about 40 minutes, I would say, to get round the map just driving. And this road will actually take us back round to the farm eventually. Another plot of building land all over the place. Missions are live on the map. You will need chopped straw, because it is a chopped straw map. Well, you don't have to have it, but if you want to have chopped straw on there, you will need chopped straw. The right hand drive blizzard, I'm not sure if it's going to be included in the map or not, but certainly it's a placeholder for it in the map if you have it. And everything else you saw all comes in the map. This doesn't, of course, but think you agree this was probably the easiest way for me to do it, so I can actually look around a bit and still actually be in the position I feel happiest driving. I think they're overheating this old beast. Just 900 grand. There was another fishing hole which had a rowboat in it, and someone fishing out on it. I think I missed that somewhere. Yeah, we're now come back down to the main road, back to the farm. We have been everywhere, man. And if you think that Norfolk's flat, drag up towards the Blickling hole, that road up there with a full load on, and especially if you've got the rail mass weight adjusted mod on, it's a killer. And even I shouldn't get lost, so I look at the signs. It tells you where everything is, which isn't going to help me a lot. Looks okay as one comes, but I think we can whip out before he gets there. He won't be happy about having to follow this. It's tough. Here we are at the farm. Oh, which they wouldn't do that. Might as well I'm driving the road, driving too close to the centre. It's the old motorcyclist in me, I'm afraid. And here we are, back at the start. I highly recommend this map. I'm going to enjoy playing on it. I've got an idea of how I'm going to play it. And so we will cut that, get out. And look, you can't go far wrong if you start with a JCB. Oh, and we've been almost an hour, so I think we better finish here. I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. If you like what you saw, please leave a like. If you're not a subscriber, think about subscribing. Any comments, questions or queries, please post them in the comments section. The only other thing is, get this map. It is very good indeed. Now, so I hope between us we've chased all the bugs out, but if we haven't, sorry, but they will be fixed. OldBor's got a good reputation of fixing any bug which is left in the map. With that, I'm going to say cheerio for now. Cheerio.